This just in, the Cubs won their first World Series since 1908. Woo!
Another good news for Clevelanders. LeBron James signs a 30-year deal with the Cavaliers. Good stuff.
So if you look here on Thursday, we have a high of 29 and windy. Friday, looks like it's going to be 35 and rainy. Saturday, it's going to be 42 degrees with a thunderstorm chance. And Sunday, it's going to be nice and sunny. Welcome to this holiday edition of BU News, coming to you live from the University of Tuskegee, the location of the infamous Tuskegee Syphilis studies. I'm Zach, and with me always is Michelle.
Thanks, Zach. Our controversial topic today, we're talking about, as you said, the syphilis studies. Discovered in Tuskegee, Alabama, 399 African-American males who were diagnosed with syphilis went untreated from 1932 to 1972, the duration of this study. In 1947, a cure was developed for syphilis. The purpose of this study was to observe the progression of the disease in the African-American male population. When the funding was cut because of the Depression, the U.S. Department of Public Service stopped the experiment, and it became the infamous study we know today. The study ended up lasting a total of 40 years, although it was originally only meant to last for 6 months.
The men had the right to know that they had syphilis, and the government and the doctors had a responsibility to tell them what they were doing. The government and the doctors failed at doing their responsibility, and as a result, the men were deprived of their rights.
Syphilis is a sexually transmitted disease. The symptoms for it include tumors, heart disease, paralysis, blindness, and insanity. When left untreated, the mental decline can ultimately lead to death. At this time, the men in the study didn't have many options to receive health care. Given the opportunity to receive free medical care, the participants willingly joined this study.
According to the Belmont Report, one of the most violating aspects of the study was the beneficence and the lack of the best interest of the subjects. There was also a lack of comprehension that could be assumed, as many of the men were uneducated sharecroppers and had never seen doctors before. Doctors are supposed to administer the best-known treatments for patients for a particular illness. They are only allowed to perform experiments on patients if they have written informed consent.
Informed consent is another violation with this study. Every human research subject has the right to determine what does or does not happen to them throughout the course of the study. The informed consent is believed to have been poorly executed, as their options were not made available to them, even once the treatment became available.
Doctors in this study withhold important medical information from the patients and did not give proper medical care for syphilis. Patients were told that they were being treated for bad blood. Patients thought they were getting medicines that they needed, although in reality they were getting aspirin and spring tonics.
Patients also received spinal punctures, chest x-rays, physical examinations, and blood tests that monitored the progression of the disease. The patients were enticed to participate in the study by being promised hot meals and medical care if they came back for regular checkups. These compensations and deceptions unfortunately could not make up for the horrible symptoms that they had to endure. The 1947 release of the penicillin cure came out, and doctors again failed to uphold their obligations to provide this easily available cure to the men.
In July of 1972, Peter Buxton, a former health service employee, spilled the information to the press, revealing the horrors of the study. The Washington Stars and the New York Times newspaper revealed the horrific story on July 25th. Now, that was finally released and the public pushed to make the study come to a horrific end. The Assistant Secretary for the Health and Scientific Affairs had appointed an ad hoc advisory panel to review the study.
The panel included a total of 9 positions, ranging from law, religion, medicine, education, labor, health administration, and public affairs. The panel found that researchers never informed their patients about the potential effects of not receiving the proper treatment. The panel also found patients were never given a choice to quit the study and concluded that it was ethically unjustified.
It is a good thing that we have the institutional review boards in place to ensure that these horrific studies are ethically sound prior to the beginning of the research of using human subjects.
Absolutely, Zach. All right, well, this concludes our edition of the BU Holiday News, and we're going to send it back to Chip in our newsroom. Chip.